What's up guys, Lindsey here. I've got Infidel #2 and I think this comic is what we in the biz refer to as a doozy. This comic is just, it's so fucking weird. I think I'm gonna put it on my pull list just because I'm like, yeah, I dare you to try to make 6 issues out of this. I fucking dare you, whoever wrote this. Oh yeah, it's that guy with the weird name, Pornzak. But look at this cover, like, this part is cool. Like, this sort of neon green skull thinking it's like, yeah, that's scary imagery. I'm for it. And then we get down to this. What is this? Okay, ostensibly she's being eaten by like a ghost demon or something, and she just looks mildly annoyed. And is this just like a 3D model that they then just photoshopped over? Like, come on, you got this part which is dope, and then you end up with this like, oh man, I might have smelled something bad. If you need help with faces, you know what, I got this. I got this shit for like $5 a couple years ago, you know what I'm saying? Just like, it's just, and it's so apparent how awful it is because it's fucking huge. But alright, let's get into this. So, you know, I listened to an interview with the writer, and I think I called her Aisha just because that's, like, I've met like 20 black girls with this spelling, but I think her name is Aisha if I remember correctly, so I'll probably forget that. But it turns out she could have just been going crazy because of her medication dealing with anxiety and insomnia, but it's also a mild hallucinogen. What? Are doctors prescribing hallucinogens now? Like, I haven't been to the doctor in a fucking hot minute, but I don't think that that's typical protocol. So he prescribes her another type of medicine called Sonata, which is like, is that just like a weird Hyundai reference? I don't know. And the thing that like really irks me about this comic is all the demon drawings are really great and terrifying and awesome looking, and it's all bogged down by all this other shit. So I'll skip this page over here, but you see her walking through a grocery store, you see her talking to her mother-in-law with a knife, and in the last issue she stabbed her, or thought she stabbed her because she's a demon or something. But it shows us the mother-in-law holding a knife, which is like, that's too fucking real. If you think somebody is lurking around in the shadows of your house, you're not gonna grab a knife to stab somebody. Nobody is mentally prepared to stab someone. Like, I watched this crime show where this guy was stalking a couple. He eventually broke into the house, and the boyfriend and the stalker guy were in a scuffle, and the girlfriend went and got a knife, and she just stood there for like 5 minutes watching them struggle because she's like, I can't stab him, and then eventually she did stab him, and it like haunted her for the rest of her fucking life because it's traumatizing. Just get a bat, you know what I'm saying? Just get a bat. But we see that Tom, who was, you know what, sorely missed by me in this issue, he's leaving to go shoot an indie film upstate. Which, I gotta tell you, that sounds like a euphemism for me. Sounds like a euphemism for like him getting fucked by Muslim dudes, or just fucking dudes, or something. Comment below what you think shooting an indie film upstate, what that is a euphemism for. But this comic is like, I don't understand, because it's trying to paint Leslie as like a stealth demon ghost possessed person or something. But she's just kind of nice. She's just like, yeah, she's a white lady who probably has never encountered Muslims before, but she's alright. And I mean, she does this shit. If you're gonna pray, close your door. Because if you're praying with your door open, I kind of think you want a little bit of attention. You know what I'm saying? And also, she's doing, like, this whole comic, she does selective hijab wearing, which I do not understand at all. So she goes to the store, well, second time she goes to the store, and then look at this character. Is this a man or a woman? I don't know anymore. Because we live in an era where this could be both. It's probably closer to a woman, and even here, I still don't know. I still don't know if that's a man or a woman. But look at these panels. That's fucking sick. Well, that one's not, because it's just like a shitty tattoo. But, and then she's crazy, grabbing people's arms, looking at their tattoos and stuff. You're not gonna pull that shit in New York. I remember when I was in college, I've got some tattoos in the back of my arms. There would be people who would literally like touch my arm and be like, oh, what's that? And you know what? I gotta tell you, I'm not a super big fan of it, but I get it. But you're not about to pull that shit in New York, you know what I'm saying? Not at all. So she's hanging out with funky, cold Medina, her black friend, who is also a Muslim, I think. Does anyone get the funky, cold Medina reference at all? Probably not. So they're talking about how some stupid shit, and then she says, and if by write your ass off you mean sit on the couch and binge Pretty Little Liars, and then Asian says, it's so addictive. I don't know why, but this panel seems so fake to me, or at least the Asian lady, she seems like there's a circle of people, right? And there's somebody right on the edge of the circle who just is kind of standing there pleasantly nodding, and then they try to just throw stuff in anyway. So it's just like, it's so addictive. It's like, but are you really like 30-year-olds talking about Pretty Little Liars and talking about how addictive it is? Get out of here. So then they start talking about the occult. This guy's writing a novel about the occult, and she's asking like, oh, what's an X mean? It just means an X. And then this panel down here happens, and it seems like it's not even a conversation. It doesn't... Oh, let me just read this. I swear, the internet's built on occult crap. No, you're wrong. It's fucking not. Maybe, like, when the internet was coming into being, and half the internet were those underground advertisements for Blair Witch Project or something, when, like, GeoCities was prevalent, maybe, but no, the foundation of the internet is memes. And you know what I was thinking about it? Memes are like... What's the biggest meme of this year? It's like, they're like fossils. But they're ever changing I don't know. You know what I mean? They're like timestamps of society. But it's not built on occult shit. It's like, I mean, it's there if you want it, probably. I mean, every once in a while I go down the internet rabbit hole, I'm like, oh, top 15 scariest things found in a basement? 15 seems like a lot. I guess I better check that out. But no, so that premise is stupid. But then this panel happens right here. It doesn't even sound like a conversation. It seems like two people who need to say these separate things, and they're just gonna say them no matter what the previous person's input was. So she asks about the X tattoo, and he says, I don't know, I'm not much of an authority. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And then Funky Cold Medina says, God, Ethan, between all the weird shit you Google and all my activist crap. What? That doesn't seem to flow at all to me. Maybe it's just me. But then he goes, I know, right? After 4 years living together, we're so on the NSA watch list. It just sounds so unreal to me. It doesn't seem like a real conversation. He says, I'm not much of an authority. Okay, yeah. So you've Googled some random things. Oh, God. I'm an activist as well. Did everyone in the room know that I'm an activist? It's just like she's just throwing her shit out there. Yeah, anybody could be an activist ever. You don't even have to do shit to call yourself an activist. Like, come on. It just... No, maybe he's alright, but then it's just like she's putting her shit out there, and then it's like, ha ha ha, we are weird, and we're the NSA. I feel like I'm making too much of it, but I'm also, it's just like, doesn't sound like a real conversation to me. Like, one of the first, like, how to write comics books I read was the Alan Moore one, and in the dialogue section he's like, read it out loud. Listen to how people speak, and try to replicate that. And then in the How to Write Comics the DC way, just say things out loud and see if it sounds like a real conversation. This doesn't sound real. I'm not much of an authority. You know what, I'm going, it's too much. I'm spending too much time on it. But, ugh. So, they talk about, oh yeah, I gotta show this. Don't be proud, we're on the NSA watch list, whatever. Oh, come on, at least all this occult research is interesting, so I guess he's, like, clapping back that activism isn't interesting, and I gotta tell you, it isn't. It isn't. Because it's the occult that makes cops trigger happy. white supremacist assholes rally. What? What? Look, I'm not a fan of the cops by any means, but I don't... And the occult is in quotes? I don't... This makes my brain hurt because I think she's... What is she saying here? Because she says white supremacist assholes rally are... No, it just is no. Whatever even metaphor you're going for, it doesn't work. Because the occult couldn't possibly... It could maybe be a metaphor for religion. I could see that. But white supremacy... The occult is not a metaphor for religion. Or for race. I think you might be stupid, Funky Cold Medina. Like the song I keep referencing. It's the occult that makes cops trigger happy. I don't know. Is this like some like weird reference to like the Salem witch trials where they just killed every woman? They just killed them all? I don't know what you're trying to say here, but I feel like you're trying to sound smart. Like if this was one of those slam poetry jams, and she was like, because it's the occult that makes cops trigger happy. Like, oh, word. Like, that would be, wow. People would lose their fucking shit over it. But I'm just not, because I read it and I thought about it, and I feel like people don't think it's slam poetry jams. I'm sorry. But you find that, like, the terrorist who attacked their building or something, oh, she says, oh yeah, white supremacist assholes rally. People try to blow up buildings. What is this? Why are you ashamed to be talking about a thing that happened in the building you're in? Have a little conviction, Asian lady. You had more conviction about the addictive nature of Pretty Little Liars. Come on. And then I just want to say that like everyone has this weird shading on their neck that looks like MS Paint spray, and it's like, or is she on hormones or something and she's trying to get a neck beard going? Because it's my understanding that neckbeards are like supremely confident about everything but their self-esteem. So you need to first make eye contact with people, like, come on. And then that makes everybody be like, oh, why would you mention a thing that happened in a building apparently not too long ago? I don't understand. Too soon. And then they start talking about it even after this. She's like, I mean, I didn't realize he was Arab until he was in the news. And we see this spooky character. And then Aisha sees it, freaks out, leaves. Funky Cold Medina follows her out. And she's like, no, it's cool. It's just my medication. And we see... Yeah, I'll show this one. The cut back to Leslie and the stepdaughter. They're looking for an action figure. And they find a hijab, which looks like a shirt that's been drawn. And she's like, I'm sorry for how I reacted seeing a hijab. I was scared. No, you were just... She didn't even... I don't know. You definitely weren't scared. You probably said some things. I don't remember what you said. But... There, you know what? I don't know. Women who wear people get... I don't know. She says some, like, kind of crazy stuff about the hijab, like, throws rocks at little girls, which is wrong, you know what I'm saying, but whatever. And then she's like, does Aisha ever talk to you about, I don't know, God or Allah? Which, I mean, I guess that's an okay question to ask, because this is your granddaughter. She says I had to wait till I'm older to see if I want to pray. That is responsible step parenting right there. I don't know why. Isn't praying just saying thanks for what you've got? Since we have lots of stuff now, can I say thanks now? And she's like, oh yeah, whatever, I suppose. And it's just a nice moment. But then the back seat of all this is the underlying thing going on with this character is she's like possessed demon or something. But she's having this like nice moment with the kid. That's like, yeah, I'm sorry for freaking out over hijab. That's nice. Does she talk about God or Allah? Oh, yeah, it's probably okay to pray if that's a thing you want to do. Okay. But she's supposed to be a bad guy? Okay, whatever. Whatever, dude. And I'll skip this page over here. Aisha sees, cuts back to, like, the face she saw, and she freaks out, and she's in the kitchen. She's talking to Leslie about Star Wars, because let us not forget that Aisha is editing a Star Wars cookbook. That's her job. And, like, I don't want to make fun of people's jobs, but since this is a fictional character, fuck off. Why couldn't it even be just a Star Wars book? Because I know those exist. Because the writer, Pornsak, subconsciously knows that women cook and are traditional cookers. Something, something, patriarchy, blah, 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 blah. And Leslie finds some rotted meat covered in ants, and she screams, which is, yeah, that's not a thing you would typically see in your fridge, so that's an appropriate reaction to have. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. That surprised me. Well, yeah, that's fucking gross. You remember, there's a thing about smelling rotted meat, and the other one, she's like, but I bought those this morning, they were fresh. Oh, believe me, I can tell you a number of times I've accidentally, they were fresh! Which is just fucking ridiculous. Anytime someone gets this faraway look in their eyes and they're screaming, it's not a good sign. Flat out. I think she's about to go shoot an indie film upstate, if you know what I fucking mean. And she hits her with this look, which is like slightly suspicious, maybe slightly judgmental, slightly just, it's all just slightly. It's very subtle of, oh, she's kind of having a mental breakdown right now, so I'm just going to look at you. I'm not going to say anything. Because if I say something, that could make you go off, and honestly, I don't even want to fucking deal with your shit right now. Because apparently I'm a demon. I got demon shit going around in my noodle. So we see her cut back to her in a hijab. What? I really don't understand. I really don't understand. Either make her wear the hijab 24/7. Oh, they don't have to wear it to sleep, do they? That'd probably, like, smother you. Either make her wear it 16/7 or not at all. But, and she doesn't wear it in public. That's the whole thing, as far as my understanding is. You gotta wear that, you gotta wear it while you're outside. You gotta wear it in public, you gotta wear it blah, blah, blah. But you probably don't have to wear it at your home, so I really don't get it. I really don't understand. I think it's just like the writer and the artist being like, well, literally the whole comic is about Muslims. But we want her to be a cool Muslim, so she can't, a moderate Muslim, so she can't wear the hijab all the time, but we just sometimes need to remind the reader that she is a Muslim. So we're just going to pop that thing on when she's praying to Allah, whatever. And then she's, God, that's so stupid. She's doing some research into the guy that bombed their building, or tried to, and she's looking up Facebook pages, and she finds him. We're like, oh, finally, we get the name. Get the name. The surname, the apellido of the bomber. And his surname is Fisher, and his first name is Mitchell, which is like the whitest name of all time. And just think of this, just picture this. Mitchell the terrorist. Get the fuck out of here. That's not gonna happen. Then look at him. Oh, he's got the tattoo. There's Mitchell. There's good old Mitchell. And then his friends have like, looks like some pagan imagery or something. Yeah, there's old Mitch. Mitch there. And she has a little moment with the kid, and then she freaks the fuck out. She starts seeing demons. Yeah, I'll show it. Cause see, this stuff is cool. This stuff right here is fucking cool. She sees this like ugly John demon monster with her demon dead tits everywhere, and then people are gooping out everywhere. Leslie comes, and the kid comes, and she sees her freaking the fuck out. And honestly, if I saw someone freaking out, I would just slowly close the door. Because you know why? We have a stigma of mental illness in this country, and also, I don't want to deal with anyone else's shit, so I'm just gonna close that door and let you scream it out in there, Aisha. I'm gonna let you just scream it out. So she sees her screaming, and for some reason the kid comes in, and she fucking comically, like, Shoney Carter spinning back fist, pops the kid one, no, and then they run out, there's a struggle, the demons are going crazy, and then we see this fucking, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Can we get Marvel on the phone or no? That Star Wars stuff is being featured in this filth. And, you know, I think I've said this in videos, or maybe just in my head repeatedly, if you fall downstairs in a movie, you're fucking dead. Like, in real life, I feel like you make it or whatever, but in real life, or in movies, you're fucking dead. I think the kid will probably make it, but look at her head looks like it's been screwed around a couple times. She's dead, and, that's definitely dead. And we see the demons calling her a killer, and her hijab has been ripped off by the demons, which, you know, maybe the ghosts, demons, whatever, they're thinking about converting. And then it ends, and then it's just stupid. And then we get with this. To be honest, I usually never read this stuff because I don't care about it. If someone wants to talk to me about a comic, they can leave a comment on the video, and I'll comment right back to you. But if you're not watching my shit, I don't care about your opinion. No, it's true and it's not true, but I had to read this one because BAM! Americans will never accept you. And then follows it up with, I'll be honest, those weren't my mother's exact words. Oh, so you're a liar. You're a liar. Pornsack Pitchisha. Like, I know Pornsack is the way you pronounce that, so I'm going to say that. Also, your name is fucking hilarious to me. So, you lied, and then you're like, oh, wasn't it? And then he quotes her again. Americans will never accept you, she said. Dude, quit lying about what your mother said. And while my mother said Americans, she meant white people. First of all, she didn't say this. Your mother didn't say this. So how can you make conjectures or try to decipher the meaning of a thing your mother didn't even say? I think this is you putting a little blame on your mom there. And they're from Thailand. They're Thai immigrants. And then she moved to America. She lived there for 20 years. And then she moved back to Thailand, I guess. But, like, let me just cut to the chase here, alright? That whole thing is fucking retarded. Do you know how I know that? Because Americans don't even have stereotypes for Thai people. I just blew your fucking mind. We don't even have stereotypes for Thai people. Now you could say, you can make the argument that, like, yeah, we didn't even accept you, so we don't even have stereotypes of you. If you are part of us, then we would make fun of you a little bit. But it's like, no, we don't even have stereotypes from them. We enjoy their food. Thai food is my favorite type of Asian food. I love Tony Jaa. Muay Thai is my favorite type of martial art. And it's like, what are you even talking about? And I don't even think they were like... Because I know in Malaysia, some of those Asian areas, you get some that are Muslim, but I don't think Thai people are Muslim. So it's just they're brown-skinned Asians. So they're... Like, what? And then he just brags about all the work he got. And then it's like, dude, you would never have worked for DC. You never would have accomplished all this stuff that you spent a whole paragraph just listing your fucking resume. None of that would have happened if your mom would have stayed in Thailand. So that doesn't... You worked on all these shows. I don't know. It's so ridiculous, right? That your life would be so much better in Thailand. I've seen some documentaries about Thailand, dude. They're not doing super great. They're not doing the worst, but they're not doing the best. And I can tell you right now, they wouldn't be making Arrow in Thailand. So, like, what are you even talking about? You so desperately want to be a minority that Americans hate. And I gotta tell you, Americans don't hate Thai people. I'm sorry to you know, crack that egg of knowledge on you. And then they have this saying where the colorist is a professor at an art school. So I guess she just made her students read the comic and then do a thing, make their own little drawings or whatever, which I feel like isn't right. I feel like it's not a correct thing to do to take advantage of your students. You're like holding their grades hostage to read an awful comic. Think about it this way, especially if you think about it this way, right? Most people don't read comics right. So when someone is reading a comic, possibly of not their choosing, you would want it to be good, because then that might bring them into the fold. But you have them reading this garbage, and it's just like, ugh. But there are two here I just want to show. This one right here, it's just a bunch of strawberries and an eyeball, which makes me think they didn't actually read it. They just knew it was about horror, so they're like, what's scary? Eyeballs. That checks out all the boxes. And what am I eating right now while I'm thinking about this stupid comic that my professor wanted me to read, but fuck her. Or him, I don't know. Strawberries. And then this one, this right here, is just a fly coming out of an eyeball, which if you follow any of the drawing stuff on Reddit, a fly coming out of an eyeball is an image that is reproduced so goddamn much, I hate it. So, I think I'm gonna have to, I don't know if I want to add this to my pull list, because it'll be like, I don't know, adding it to my pull list makes it seem like I like it, and I don't. It's just like, now that I know that the terrorist is a white guy, I just want to see what the fuck, and it's about the occult. It's about the occult. Yeah, you know all those white terrorists out there who are reading the Necronomicon, like, what could happen next? I don't know. This video is really long. I'm sorry.